Hello, my name is Morgan. I usually do post development logs, though this is more considered as a guide or a showcase on how I work. Game development is a mix of different crafts, everything from coding to graphics, audio design and storytelling. Therefore it is important to use good software and tools to be able to do everything as efficiently as possible. And this video focuses on good tools to use while coding. And source control is one of the most important things while programming, because it gives you data integrity over your code, giving the confidence to incorporate changes without losing anything. And this is the main point of source control, meaning that incremental changes are saved as revisions and every file can be restored to previous revision if desired, much like checkpoints in games, for example. There is more to it though. One important concept is branching and merging, meaning that it is possible to have the code branch out in different directions. And those branches can pretty much be created and switched between instantly. And merging is when branches are combined together again. And it is very common to have like a stable branch and a development branch, for example, and merge in changes from time to time. Git is a so-called decentralized version control system, meaning that it does not need to connect to a server to work, like Subversion, for example. And this means that all history is available all the time alongside your code. So it is very convenient to have that, because you can go back if you do mistakes, or you can create local branches for experimental code, for example. And Git has become very popular for open source projects also because of the collaboration site GitHub. And I actually have some projects hosted there if you want to check them out. Seemake is a tool for managing the build process. It has its own syntax text for describing a build, and from that config Seemake generates the necessary build files for you, and different types depending on the platform. Make files on Linux or a Visual Studio solution on Windows, for example. It's actually almost like magic when you can move your code between the platforms, and Seemake creates the appropriate build files that actually builds and works. And this of course saves a lot of time when doing cross-platform development, like I do. There is even experimental support for iOS and Android. A drawback though is that the syntax of the Cmake language is pretty ugly, though convenience triumphs beauty in this case. It's very convenient to use. Of course, not all projects are open source and can be put on GitHub. Actually they have hosting, but it costs money if you want to have your code private. So it's good to have your own private project management system instead. And Redmine is such a thing, and a very good one at that. It is web-based and has a bug tracker, version handling for releases, a wiki and much more. It also integrates very well with Git actually, so you can view all your revisions and branches and so forth. Redmine is pretty easy to set up on a Linux server if you have one. The last point today is the code editor. It is a very opinionated subject, so I won't go into it to great depths. Though personally I use Qtcreator for my coding. It is lightweight, fast and has great C++ support for auto-completion and formatting, for example. It also integrates very well with Seemake and the debugger. The name is a bit confusing though, since the editor works fine without the Qt framework if you don't need it. And that is all for this episode. Feel free to comment or ask questions. Like or subscribe if you want to. Thank you for watching and see you next time.